revolutionary things about the opening statement of the Rite of Spring is, well, first of all, the fact that a bassoon is playing it. When Stravinsky composed this, we're not quite talking about the same instrument the bassoonists play today. There were fewer keys, the high register wasn't quite as evolved. It was close, but it's really difficult to play now. It was even more so 90 years ago, 100 years ago. And if you've ever seen the movie Fantasia, Disney has this sort of evolutionary take on the whole opening statement. And in a way, I kind of see that. You know, there's a very sort of primal aspect to this opening solo. And having to come in on that high C is really, really difficult. And then, you know, a little bit later it goes up to a high D. So this is not a register in which bassoons are used to playing. You know, we're usually down low. That's sort of that's the range, that's a character, that's the role of our instrument in the orchestra. So having an opening statement just out there, very bare, nothing else going on, and then to just play up in the stratosphere, that's really quite revolutionary. The American premiere was given by the NBC Radio Orchestra, and the bassoonist was Lauren Glickman. And Stravinsky was conducting this premiere, and Lauren knew all about this solo. And I asked him about it. We met a while back, and what he said was that he had practiced his tail off because he knew that this was this really big solo. It's still very difficult. And he had the perfect setup, and he'd practiced it so much and so well that he played it all romantically. It was so easy. And after the first rehearsal, he played it through. Stravinsky cut him off and said, "No, Mr. Glickman, just play it straight." So he was getting a little bit. He was making too much out of it. There are no dynamic markings in the part. There's one spot where it says accelerando, and it's meant to be played freely, but there are no other indications. And Stravinsky, being a modernist, he's not parsimonious in his use of indications telling you exactly what he wants. If there's nothing there, it's because he wants it straight. The bassoon I play, it's made by a manufacturer named Heckel, who originally, Wilhelm Heckel was the one who sort of redesigned and rebuilt the bassoon about 200 years ago. Prior to that, it was what we call a Baroque bassoon. It only had 6 keys. And Heckel made a lot of changes all at once. And so that's sort of the birth of the modern bassoon, sometime around the mid-1800s, a little bit earlier, and the change wasn't all at once. But my instrument was built by that company. It was built in the mid-1980s, and Heckel is sort of generally acknowledged as the gold standard of bassoons. It's like Stradivarius, although if I had to go out and buy one now, I'd probably go with something less expensive. They're not cheap. They're easily the most expensive of woodwind instruments, but the nice thing is they do last forever if you take care of them. It's not like a clarinet that you have to replace every 5 years. And we only need one. Again, not like clarinets, they have to have at least 2. But my instrument, I bought it in 1995 when I was an undergrad. I bought it from my teacher, who was looking to change his own setup, and I just really like my instrument. It's big. It has a lot of resistance to it, and I feel like it'll take whatever I give it.